Hello YouTube, this is Terrell. Today is Saturday, September 29th, 2012, and this is an update for the 188-day cycle. Identifying which event took place to fulfill the 188-day cycle is a little bit difficult because there's so many 7 magnitude events in this area. And I predicted the cavitation or the shaking that the Earth was going to go through on the backside, which we're going through. People are amazed that we're having so many earthquakes. Location where the event took place would move earlier because of the planetary alignments, and that didn't happen. I watched for 6 and 7 magnitude events through there, did not happen. So that increased the likelihood that my event was going to happen on time on the 188-day cycle on 9/26. And that's what we got. I got on the radio show with Deacon John yesterday, and he seemed to believe that, well, we didn't get the event, but in reality we did. This here's a Hawaii monitor. This one down here is a Oregon monitor, and they both caught the 7.9 that happened in the Aleutian Islands. A little bit surprised that it's going on up there in the Aleutian Islands. Whenever this area starts to move, then we have plates out there that have not moved in hundreds of thousands of years, and a 10 magnitude event could be in the cards for what's happening. I have been expecting the pressure to build from the north side of that and move down towards California. Whenever California has their big event, I would expect to have a big one in the Aleutians first, because the ring of fire is turning clockwise in that direction. We've had a lot of movement down in Chile, across the ocean in Christchurch particularly, that's trying to liquefy from all the activity. Fukushima obviously has had tons and tons of quakes. Now I've been waiting for the Aleutians, but that section up there is locked. Now it looks like that this is trying to move, and if it does, then we could, like I said, we could be expecting a big event. Now what this means is that the object that I'm tracking, it is definitely in the Leo constellation. Definitely in the Leo constellation. When we stop the orbit diagram on this day and draw a line, here, let me show you, and we draw a line, then we're going to get Leo constellation is right over here, and this is the object at its current location based upon lots of different information. You say, well, why are you looking at Imminent? Imminent appears to be a psychological operation created by the lettered agencies, including NASA, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, to track an inbound anomalous object. Now, Imminent has always been moving too slow. It always moved too slow. If this thing really came from beyond Neptune and the Kuiper Belt, this thing, like Lovejoy, was going 1,300,000 miles per hour when it got to perihelion near the Sun. This object, the Imminent, whenever it was from 2 astronomical units to 1 astronomical unit from the Sun, was only traveling 62,000 miles per hour. Is way too slow. What I reasoned and what I reckoned, if you will, using information from Crew 4T and others, is that the velocity on this is very similar to an asteroid, and it's coming from way too far away, making it an anomalous object. What I believe that they've done is they have encoded the black star object, the velocity information, in Imminent. Alright, so now all I have to do is figure out the cipher. That's what the code to break the information and release the information so that I can make it available to you guys. Now I was looking at 9/26 since last year. John Moore and those guys came out with 9/26. That was the next day on the 188-day cycle. It's a little bit amazing to me that information didn't seem to come out. It was amazing to me that Lucas seemed to leave the arena, if you will, the investigation, when his date was all of a sudden coming out of John Moore's mouth as far as a warning, and Kerry Cassidy and Dr. Bill Deagle and people like that. So what I've been doing is creating for the newsletter subscribers an orbit diagram for the 922 perihelion, which is 11 days after Imminent, and then the 926 alignment. Now I know that that's a backside alignment event that we've been looking at. It's a Aleutian Island event, and that tells us when we stop the orbit diagram that this object is actually still out there in the Leo constellation. Okay, now what I did was I moved forward to the crossing event. The crossing event is what Truth Forever, people like that, the remote viewers, they've been warning about. If you do a little research on Cliff High, then you're going to see that his remote viewers see a June. They looked forward to June 2013. They saw Washington, D.C. under 100 feet of water. They see people migrating towards the central part of the United States. This would be conducive to a May 17th, 2013 event. This year, we crossed the orbit path. See, right here is the crossing, where the crossing event for Imminent would have been. All right, now we add 11 days to that this year, and that would have been around May the 8th that we dodged a bullet. Next year is going to be around May 17th to the 19th. Truth Forever and his people have insisted that this event, this pole shift event, takes place on a Friday. It begins at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, right? And now Nighthawks people come out and saying the middle of May next year, a crossing event. That would correspond to May 17th, 2013 at 10 a.m. So what I did was, now instead of using 926, I'm using May the 17th, 2013, and I've counted the number of days backwards to today. That would be 230 days. Then what I did is I took Elenin to whenever